Hello and welcome back to Sloth Speed Travel. This week we continue our exploration of Quebec City by looking at all the other amazing things on offer outside of the Old Town area, including neighborhoods like St. Roch and Montmorency Falls and the Plains of Abraham. We really started to stretch out and feel comfortable using the public transportation and used it to range out a bit. And everything was going swimmingly until it wasn't. I'm gonna die. Look out!
Before we can enjoy the breathtaking views of Montmorency Falls, we had to find a way to get there. There are many different options, such as Ubers or taxis, but we chose the most economical way, the bus.
And the best place for info on the RTC bus system in Quebec, which is very robust and easy to use, is to head over to rtcquebec.ca and then hit the old translate button to English if you need that. And you can kind of peruse the site and get a sense of costs and trip planning and where the different routes are. And the pricing is very affordable. So if you head on over to tariffs here, you can see a 5-day pass at $33.25 Canadian is only $23.11 US, and a round trip ticket. If you just wanted to just jump on and then jump off heading up to Montmorency Falls or something, would only cost you $4.87 compared to $24 to $30 for an Uber or a taxi to do the same trip. So it's much cheaper, and we use the bus to get all over town. And then they got all the routes on the website as well. There's also an app you can download, and this is the 800 bus, which goes out to Montmorency Falls. So this is the one you would take if you do want to take the bus out. It's about, from where we were in the Old Town area, about a 45-minute, 50-minute ride out. The app shows you where each of the buses are along the route, how long it's going to be till they get to you. And there's monitors on the buses, and it's just very easy to use. And so from here, we jumped onto the 800 bus and we're headed out to Montmorency Falls.
We discovered that Montmorency Falls is a must-see site when you go to Quebec City. It's just 7.5 miles from the Old Quebec City and definitely worth the trip. The falls are at the mouth of the Montmorency River flowing into the St. Lawrence River. To give you some reference on the height of the falls, they are 30 meters higher than Niagara Falls, 98 feet for those using the imperial system. We completed a circuit starting at the top of the falls that wound round to the bottom of the falls and then back up again to the start. Definitely a gorgeous park and waterfall that is worth the time to explore.
Where are we?
The falls. How do we say it?
Montmorency.
Montmorency, something, see if it's on the receipt.
happened, Jess?
It's a little wet out there. Dedication to getting the picture. And then the lady asked me to take a picture, so I remained, and now I'm wet.
What happened to your raincoat?
Don't need it.
Alright, well, that was fun. Alright, so the problem is, we've just come from way up there, and we don't really want to spend the money on the little tram trolley, what do you call that thing? Gondola. Tourist prices, all the thing, but we're old, fat,
Yep.
and you're going to find out in just a minute whether we climb back up the stairs or took the easy way out. Let you know. And there's your answer.
At the end of the gondola ride, we hopped off and we're back at the entrance of the park. There you have flowering landscape that lead up to Montmorency Manor. There's a restaurant/cafe in that manor. The park includes a lot more than just the main waterfall. You have the little waterfalls shooting off the cliffs. You have the orchard that leads down to the St. Lawrence River. I really enjoyed walking around the base of the waterfall. You could walk out on these jetties. Overall, we couldn't have asked for a better day. It was beautiful, sunshiny, around in the mid-60s. Occasionally we could see the rainbow in the midst of the waterfall. Beautiful, beautiful park.
Our next stop, and the place we called home for the 8 days that we were in Quebec City, is nestled just outside Quebec City's historic Old Town. The St. Roch neighborhood has transformed from a working-class hub to one of the city's most vibrant and artistic areas. Its rich history is steeped in the evolution of the city itself. It's close, within walking distance of the Old Town area, maybe 15 to 20-minute walk. And as you can see, there's plenty of restaurants, AIrBnBs, art items, music stores, a really cool toy store, just lots of things to do in this area. Today, St. Roch is undergoing a renaissance known for its artistic flair. The neighborhood is adorned with vibrant street murals, quirky cafes, and independent boutiques. The area's revitalization is rooted in a mix of creativity, history, and community spirit. At the heart of it all is Place Jacques Cartier, a lively park that hosts outdoor events, festivals, and farmers markets. And also nearby is the Église St. Roch, an iconic church in the area, and it stands as a symbol of the neighborhood's enduring heritage. St. Roch is where history and modernity meet, offering visitors a unique blend of culture, art, and local charm. We also enjoyed our AIrBnB here. This was a just perfectly comfortable, nice, and clean AIrBnB, reasonably priced compared to the local hotels, and we'll cover costs here at the end of the video, but as you can see, plenty of space to move around. It was a great place to sort of launch from every day as a headquarters or a base to go explore the city. So, and the other critical thing with this AIrBnB in particular was that it actually had a washer and dryer, which is always a bonus in an AIrBnB. We also got to visit the iconic Benjo toy store that's been a fixture in St. Roch for years. Unfortunately, it's going to be closing its doors in 2025. Dobby is free.
Our next intended stop was the Plains of Abraham.
Yeah, we were really feeling ourselves after 7 or so days in Quebec City, and we're becoming experts at using the bus system. So we knew that we could jump the one bus here, and clearly from their map, it just went right down by the park, and you could slide into the park, and we were going to enjoy a day in the park. But turns out that that little frontage road that the one bus runs down is actually on the lower end of a big cliff. So if you look at it on a real map, you can see that, yeah, we're not scaling cliffs to get into the park. There was, however, this little staircase. All right, so due to a minor navigational error, we will be taking the stairs
Of hell.
to the Plains of Abraham. Oh boy. And stairs and stairs and stairs.
No, that's not.
How do you feel about the staircase?
I hate it. Fat American travelers. Only halfway there.
Ooh.
All right.
Ready?
Sure, for one more flight. One flight at a time.
Let's go.
You can do it. I know I can.
So, important note, the Plains of Abraham are not located on the frontage road serviced by the 400 and the number 1 bus. You're welcome. And just when he thunked it was almost done, more stairs. Oh boy. Feel the burn. That's what I'm talking about. My love, catch up. I'm gonna die. Winner. Having reached the top, this is what the entranceway looks like from the top. You'll not want to go down that way.
I'd rather go down than up.
But you got to come back up. But welcome otherwise to the Plains of Abraham. Not bad. 21 flights logged. I'll take it. Whew. Goodbye, stairs of pain. All right, Jess. Show us on this map where the bad attraction hurt you. Yes.
Escalier du Cap-Blanc Stairs. And we are here. And now we're going down.
Having finally arrived at the Plains of Abraham, we were able to stroll around and check out the sights and sounds. Here, check out this fountain.
Sadly, we had to bid adieu to Quebec City. We took the bus number 80 to the airport and enjoyed beautiful scenery, parks, architecture that only Quebec City can offer. Till next time, Quebec City.
After arriving at the airport, you'll definitely want to get through security. And on the air side near Gate 29, there is a lounge at the airport in Quebec City. And it's a VIP lounge by Club Med that you can access with the Dragon Pass or your Priority Pass or some sort of a business class airfare if the airline allows for it. And this lounge gets a little bit of a bad reputation online. It has some sort of poor reviews at times, but we found it to be just fine. Full salad bar, plenty of food, good coffee, good views, and wasn't overly crowded when we were there. So definitely, if you have access, it's worth your time just to slide down and take a look. So after our 8-day trip up in Canada, we discovered that it acted and served exactly how we wanted to do, was just a primer for what we're going to be doing going forward. So this was not really slow travel. This was a vacation, really, but
sort of getting our feet wet. Right. We were this is the first vacation that we're videoing all the time and getting into that mindset that we have to product something for YouTube and for our channel. And so it's a little bit different than, I guess, day-to-day travel that we would do. And we weren't watching the budget that closely. It was more of like a trip, get our feet wet sort of thing.
Yeah, certainly. And so what we're going to do is each place we go to, we'll try to give you as much cost analysis as possible so you can get a snapshot of what things are costing to live in that place at that moment in time or to travel to that place at that moment in time. So we're going to go ahead and do that with this Canada trip as well. But you're going to notice the prices are a little higher. We weren't really maximizing budget, really. Again, this was more of just a vacation or an experience that we were using as a testing ground for some of our packing systems and that sort of thing. But the first thing we can talk about is airfare.
Okay, so we sort of splurged
Splurged a
on
little bit.
airfare. We weren't thinking of long-term travel. So our total airfare was, for both of us, was $1,475.
And 68 cents, right?
And 68
You
cents.
got to get
there.
the 68 cents in.
So basically $737.84.
And that does sound high
per
if that was
person.
economy seat, but this was business class both ways for both of us. And we'll talk about it more over time, but there's a couple things with that airfare. You can get just a base fare, but the way most airlines are structuring their fees now, a little bit extra for bags, a little bit extra for choosing your seat, a little bit extra for getting boarding priority, a little bit, all these little extra. And by the time you add all those extras in, you're going to find often, not always, that you're within a very close shot of just upgrading to first class and or business class for international travel and getting all of the benefits of those seats with the luggage increases. Typically with American carriers, you're going to get not one but two check bags for free included, and usually the weight's higher, typically around 70 pounds versus 50 pounds that you would get with a coach seat. So we're always kind of, as first class tickets go up and back, these prices weren't bad, but they're higher than they needed to be. You probably could have gotten, for half of that, both of us could have gone up coach, but you would have had to add in fees and those sorts of things. The other thing it does, particularly if you're more in vacation mode or just short trip mode, is it gives you that comfort of early priority boarding and you know where your seat's going to be. And so you're not doing all of the gate lice activities of hanging around the gate, wrestling and fighting with people to try to get on the plane. It just takes all of that off the table and lets you relax a little more and enjoy the trip. It's not always feasible because it does get expensive if you do it constantly, but it does help.
Yep. And then we stayed there for a week and a day, basically Monday through the next Tuesday. So we had to find lodging. We chose AIrBnB. And for the week, it was $13.29.98.
Yep.
Basically $64.99 per person, $166.24 a day, which is not bad.
Not bad for that area, for Quebec City. The hotel prices, at least in the early fall when we were there, still sort of in that prime season. They can run up closer to $200 a night or north of that.
More.
Again, were there cheaper options? Absolutely. There were certainly Airbnbs and other stays that could be had for much cheaper, but this was a nice middle ground, reasonable rate we felt for what we were trying to do. Kept us right in the middle of the action in St. Roch, and it definitely helped out.
Yep. And then getting around. When we landed, we hadn't really pre-planned how we're going to get to the Airbnb, so we chose Uber. Uber works great up there. Use your US Uber app. It works everywhere. And then we finally discovered the bus system.
Bus system was amazing.
So the total for transportation was $93.33. Basically $11.66 per day when you break it all the way down.
Which seemed relatively reasonable. And then we did a lot of grocery shopping because we were at the Airbnb, because we had a stove, full ability to cook meals. So that worked out well. And the cost on that was $146.35, or about $18.29 per day. So again, seems fairly. We ate quite a few meals at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Breakfast we would do, maybe some late night snacking, that sort of thing. We would typically do maybe a meal out. So dining out, we spent $194.22 over the week, which is about $24.28 a day, which really isn't that bad. So, combined, we're looking at about $330 around there for the week in eating out and groceries.
Yep, and then tours and activities, which is encompassing. We did a lot of tours. We paid for the walking tour and the museum underneath the boardwalk and the waterfall, the entrance to the park there, the entrance into the Citadel. So there was a lot of activities. You wouldn't necessarily need to do all of those activities on a trip up to Quebec City, but again, at $157.48 is what it amounted to. For two people to get those many activities in, and as much as we enjoyed all the activities, there was none that we were like, that was a little bit of a rip-off. They were all reasonable and fun activities to participate in. So yeah, grand total of $157.48 there. And then the grand total brings us down to
$33.97, basically just under $3,400 for 8 days. And that's sort of expensive. We weren't really budgeting, but I think the majority of that is just the airfare, which you can definitely get cheaper and get up there more economically.
Yeah, you could definitely cut that in half without even trying hard if you try to do it as a budget trip or a budget stay. Certainly if you extend it out into more of a slow travel full 30 days there, you're going to cut more off of your Airbnb time because of the month-long discounts that are available. And you're eating, if you got more groceries over that time, so you could really spend quite a bit of time up there at a reasonable rate and not absolutely break the bank trying to get up there. And the last thing I want to point out and talk about when it comes to money as well is for us, as a generalized philosophy, we believe in experiences over stuff. So I would much rather invest my money into experiences, the travel itself, seeing the culture and just getting all those experiences. I don't know how many times we have to watch videos and hear people talk about when they're in their 80s and 90s and looking back retrospectively on their lives, and they always ask the question like, do you regret anything? And it's always the same things. I wish I had retired earlier. I wish I had taken that trip. I wish I had traveled more. I wish I'd spent more time with family. So the idea that, that you can go and have an experience, the money sort of starts to fade into the background a little bit. It's a reality. You got to operate under a certain budget. But if it's the difference between, should we go do this and spend this little bit of extra? I always like to budget in, what is the experience going to be? Am I going to remember this? And so far, even since we took this trip several months ago, we talk about it all the time. I mean, it's already an experience that we have together that we get to share with each other and now with all of you. And so always keep that in the back of your mind. It's certainly something we keep in the forefront as we're doing our travel planning as well.
It's the journey, and we want you to join in on our journey.
Yep, that's it. So we'll see you next time around, and until then, we'll see you out there on the road.
Bye. Oh yeah, like and subscribe.